I just got on here really quick, you guys. Hey, to help somebody live a better life today. If I can say anything to anyone today and keep it as simple as possible, please change your thinking. The way you think is killing you. The way you think is hindering you from living a full life. The way you think is messing with your mind. It's messing with your health. It's messing with your relationships. The way you think is really stopping you from excelling. It's stopping you from being productive. It's stopping you from doing all the things that you really internally desire to do, but you can't because your thought process is so negative. You always think something bad is going to happen. You always think something's wrong. Everything is negative, or everything is based upon the spirit of fear. You're afraid to do this. You're afraid to go here. You're afraid that. You're afraid of the outcome. You're afraid of trying. You're afraid. And being fearful and being negative and always being pessimistic, these things cause anxiety, they cause panic, they cause fear, they cause doubt, and they'll cause death if you allow it to linger too long. Stop thinking so negative. Stop talking to people who talk negative. Stop allowing your own tongue to declare death and destruction over your own life. Watch how you speak about you and about the things concerning you. Watch how you speak about your children, about your life, about your job, about your health. Watch how you think. Thinking affects the way that you eat, the way that you live, the way that you relate to other people. A lot of times we've been thinking this way for so many years and we don't realize that we are really messed up. And the further you get out into your own thoughts, especially when they're negative and especially when they overanalyze and you overthink, the further you get out there, the further you're diving into mental health issues. We have to start taking control of the way that we think, and we have to really recognize that it's wrong, that it's not healthy, that it's not helping you. We consider too many things in a day. We have a whole lot of whys in our head. Why this? Why that? Why? But nobody has stopped and take the time to ask God, how? How do I not think like this? How do I not be so nervous and so panicky and so impatient and so stressed out and so fearful? How, God? Teach me. How do I not be so anxious and rambunctious and just all over the place? How, God? Teach me how to be still and be settled and to be calm and to be peaceful and to be patient and to be understanding of myself and others. That takes time. I know we live in a world where everything is at a push of a button, a click, and it just happens. But we have to not be consumed or conformed to this way of living. You know, when the Bible says, be not conformed to the things of this world, but be renewed by the transforming of your mind. If we don't start really living out that scripture, many of us will leave here before our time. Many of us will find that a life is not producing the things that we know that it's capable of producing for us because we're not able to function in the normalcy of everyday living because of the way we think. Thinking has messed some of us up so bad. We can't even get on Facebook and scroll because every post that somebody posts that we know is about us. We can't even get on social media and scroll because we're so busy comparing the lives of other people to our own. Our thinking is so messed up. You know, there's a scripture that says, think on these things that are pure, that are lovely, that are true. Have any of you decided to practice that? I've had to. Let me tell you something. The pandemic, irrelevant to me. I know it's happening, but I cannot consume myself every day with the thought of a pandemic and walk around here in absolute fear. I will not. I won't live like that, and you shouldn't either. Yes, we should be aware of things, but that does not mean you should be consumed by anything. because you should not be consumed by negativity or by fear or by doubt or by pessimism, any of that. Joy is something that you possess, happiness is something that you possess, and peace is something that you possess. When you decide that you're not going to think the way that you've been thinking. I've taken up yoga lately because I love the way I feel after I stretch and after I just meditate and I clear my mind and I think about nothing. I just enjoy living. I enjoy breathing. I enjoy stretching. I enjoy being here. I'm trying to help somebody today. I didn't get on here because I needed to be seen or any of that. I prefer to be in my own space, minding my own business, doing my own thing. And if I never did another video, I'd be fine. But a lot of times I have to be obedient to God, because when he frees me, or when he's freeing me, or when I've been freed from something, I really love to tell people about it, because being bound is awful, especially when you've been like that most of your life and you find family members and friends that you cling to and all of y'all think the same way. Negative, crazy, pessimistic. This is a time in life when you are on the phone with someone and they're talking negative and you're already feeling anxious and panicky and stressed. You should hang the phone up and you should not talk to them, because they're not helping you. We have to start thinking on things that are really true. And in order to know what's true, you got to have a conversation with the master. You got to have a conversation with the creator. You got to have the conversation with God, the all-seeing, the all-knowing, ever-present God. You have to, because he sees what you don't. He knows what you don't, and he's everywhere all the time. So who else would you ask? We have to stop with all these whys and ask how. God, help me, because I don't know how. I've had to say that so many times, because trust me, I know for a fact that I don't know everything, and there's been times that I thought I did, and unconsciously I really did. Couldn't tell me nothing, but I don't know everything, and I don't see everything, and what I do know and what I do see is in part. And I found out a lot of the things that I thought that I knew were wrong. And so will you if you sit still. But I encourage you today, if you are tired of stress, if you feel like you're on the edge and about to lose your mind, lose your mind. Let me explain that. Some of you really need to lose your mind. You need to lose your mind because your mind is driving you crazy. And you need to put on the mind of Christ. And I know for some of you who do not understand that, I'm basically saying you need to get rid of all the way that negative, pessimistic, fearful way that you think. And you need to sit still and ask God to clear your mind. And maybe you need to read the word and find out what the good things are that you should be meditating on. Maybe you just need to sit in silence. Maybe you need to go write down the good things about life, positive things. Maybe you need to put affirmations. I don't know what works for you. I don't just tell people prayer, because prayer works for me. Faith works for me. Fasting works for me. So does yoga. So does taking long walks. So does taking a hot bath. So does sometimes just coloring in a coloring book or writing a poem. Everybody has things that they do to relax or release or to unwind. One of my favorite things to do is to go sit in my car in different places and I just talk to God, and then I shut up and I allow God to speak to me about me, not anyone else, because no one else is my concern and no one else is my job. It is God's. Everything else is God's. My children, my family, my friends, my associates, all of them belong to God. And so daily I give them back to God. So I'm not consumed with what's going on in their life. All I have to do is believe that the things that I pray for them will manifest, that the thing that are some of them are already done. I don't have to wait for a manifestation. I just have to know what I know. And what I know is that God is who he says he is. And what I know is how he feels about me. And what I know is what his word says, that things are working for my good, and that I am blessed, and that I am more than a conqueror, and that I'm able to withstand anything that comes against me. And I have to tell myself that, not to convince myself. I have to tell myself that to remind myself, hey, did you forget? And sometimes we have to sit still and remind ourselves that what we're seeing sometimes is not really what's going on. Yeah, there's chaos and panic, but do you know how to be still in the middle of that? Do you know how to be still when your mind is flipping 50 paces? You have to learn to control that. You have to learn to stop it. You have to learn to say no. I've learned to combat every lie with the truth. every lie with the truth. And you have to learn to do the same. We have to learn to live beyond what we feel. Feelings are so temporal. They come and they go. One day you're happy, the next day you're not. You shouldn't be like that. You should actually be able to maintain joy and happiness every day, no matter the circumstances. Even when sadness comes, it should be fleeting. Let it come, but don't let it consume you. We have to learn that we are so much more spirit, and we have to learn to really, you guys, hear me. We really have to learn to take control of our flesh. It does not dominate. It does not dictate. It does not control you, only if you allow it to. So if I could encourage you today, change the way you think. Seriously, change the way you think. If you got to stop talking to people for a week or a month to get you right, do it. And don't explain. I have people now who want me to explain why I don't do this, or why I'm not doing that, or why I haven't. I'm not doing it. Because every day I have to get up and I have to ask God, what we doing? Where we going? And I have to do that. My family teases me. My sisters and my mother, they tease me because a lot of times when they're in a car with me and I'm driving, I go the craziest route and they all are like, why are you going that way? Because this is the way I'm led to go. And many a days it saved my life because I heard God and not pressure from people. I heard God and not what I wanted to do. Yeah, baby, I'm telling you, peace that surpasses all understanding is what I live in right now. And it's every day. Listen, every day I have to remind myself of what the truth is. When I'm driving in traffic and people are all over the place and they driving crazy, I do the same thing y'all do. What are you doing? But I'm learning that for what? Why am I rushing? Why am I impatient? Why am I in such a hurry? Why am I anxious? Why am I need to be at speed and have things my way, the way I want it right now? No. You should tell yourself, you're not having your way today and you're not getting what you want all the time. We are really sometimes very controlling, demanding, childish, pouty, whiny. We're not in control. This is not our world. Please believe you're not in control. So when you know you're not in control, you talk to the one who is in control and you say, hey, show me the plan so I can follow. I'm telling you, I tried it all other kinds of ways for 46 years. It never worked. So if I tell you anything today, you take anything from this video, if you know anybody that has panic or anxiety, share it with them. I've taken the medicine. I've taken the medicine. I've seen the therapist. I've been the therapist. Sometimes I have to talk to me. But nothing ever works as much as faith and knowing. It's about what you know. It really is. It's about what you know. It's about knowing. Knowing causes you not to overthink. Knowing causes you not to overanalyze. A lot of times we are looking at things and they are not what they seem. And we have to learn that these eyeballs lie to you. This mind will trick you. You got to sit still and think on what's really true. And not anything negative. We got to get out of this fearful, negative mindset. People won't leave their house. People won't visit other people. Hey, if that's what God told you to do, fine. Because I'm like that too. I don't like a lot of people in my house. And I don't like to go a lot of places. And people I don't understand that about me. And they get very upset. And I do what I need to do, what I'm led to do. And what I desire to do. Because a lot of times we have to stop doing. Stress comes also from doing what you feel pressured to do. It's a lot of us adults who have friends and family members and coworkers, and we don't want to hurt their feelings and we don't want to make them feel bad. So we put ourselves in situations that we don't belong in. Just say no and don't explain it. You don't have to tell someone why you don't want to do something. You don't have to explain why you're not showing up. You don't have to explain why you're not wearing that color, or you don't like that, or you don't want to participate. You don't. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to explain that. You don't have to force yourself to be a part of something you don't want to. Who cares if they get mad at you? Who cares if they don't like you? Who cares if, you got to evaluate that too. That's childish. The love that you have for me is based on something that I do that you like. That's crazy. No. If you're going to love me anyway. I said enough. I just wanted to share some things with you all and hope it blessed your soul. Have a wonderful day, and remember, change the way you think. And sometimes you have to remember to stop talking to people who think like you, especially when all of you are thinking negative. Somebody has to step out and say, that's not true, and I won't live like that. I'll be that person today. Don't live the way that you've been living that's causing you to be stressed out, that's causing you to be panicky and depressed and overwhelmed. It all starts with what you're thinking. And sometimes we're thinking too much. How about go home and think about nothing and just relax? Many of us need to train ourselves to relax. Try different things. I listen to 1940s music and they tease me. And I don't care because it relaxes me. It just puts me in a place of just, wow. I love it. I use it for the homework. I listen to yoga music while I'm driving. It's what I like to do. We've got to learn to be comfortable in our own skin, being ourselves and being okay with that, without approval or without validation. God bless you.